Hi, I'm Mike Mullen, Director of SIBI Northeast, located in Fall River, Massachusetts. We're about 50 miles south of Boston, 20 miles east of Providence. I'm here in the classroom that we actually use for the students to video conference with Lubbock, with Sunset in Lubbock, Texas. This here is the big screen TV that we use for that. Up here is the camera that's pointed toward the students. And if the student has a question, they raise their hand. The instructor in Lubbock, Texas sees it, says, Fall River, do you have a question? And they talk back and forth. They do this all day long, Monday through Fridays, from 9:30 in the morning till 5:30 at night. 2 classes a day, including a preaching lab in the middle of the day. I just want to say that we're delighted and encouraged that with your interest in the school here and what we're trying to do in the Northeast. There are 64 million people in the Northeast, so there's a great need. There are 400 small churches, and just to give you a feel for the difference between the Northeast and Texas, in Texas there are 20 million people and 2,500 churches. So if we were, Texas needs to continue to be evangelized, but if we wanted to even be compared to you in Texas, basically doing the math, we would need about 7,500 more churches here in the Northeast. So we have a lot of work to do, and really, again, are excited about your desire to help us. 64 million people that know about the Word, but don't know the Word. 64 million people that know about Jesus, but don't know Jesus. And so there is a need that we train men to go out there to really help people to know Jesus. And the purpose of the school is to train local men for local work. In order to build churches in the Northeast, we really need men and women that are willing to camp out for the rest of their lives in one area. For a man to come and spend 10 years developing relationships and then to just get up and to leave, it's basically like filling an appointment book full of names and addresses and then just tearing them all out and starting all over again. Here in this area, we really need someone. All the churches in the Northeast that have done very well are basically led by men and women that have decided to stay in one place for the rest of their lives. And so the reason why we have the school here is that we get to train men that are from this area, rather than men coming from the South, where their families are from the South. They come up for 10 or 15 years and they go home. The people that we train here are going to stay here for the rest of their lives. They're right here with their families. Right now we have 6 men that we have already trained and sent out. We have a man in Caribou, Maine. I was talking to him a couple of weeks ago, asking him about the temperatures there. He said that it was 35 below without the wind chill factor. With the wind chill factor, it was 50 below. And so you got to have a lot of faith to preach up in this area sometime. We have another man that is in Lewistown, Pennsylvania, and in the past 3 years he's baptized about 60 people. We have 3 men in Connecticut, one in the Hartford area, we have one in the Trumbull area, and we have one in the Farmington, Connecticut area. And our 6th man right now is in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. We're hoping to get him back up into the area. We have another man who's holding the camera right now, Anthony Linden, who will be our 7th graduate, and he's going to be working in Clifton Park, New York. He's already gotten a job offer and taken that, and he'll be starting that this summer. We have another man Glenn Campbell, who's going to be graduating in December, and I'm hoping that he is going to be taking my place. We've talked about that. He'll be recruiting students, raising funds, and directing the school. He'll be able to do that full time, and I'm excited about him doing that. Right now, we pretty much have been trickling out students because I'm an elder, an evangelist, and a preacher, and also trying to direct the school, and it's just too much. I think if we can get a man full-time out there doing that, the school will really grow. We have the facilities here to train 10 or 20 men at a time. We have two other men here that are auditing classes with us, Tom Jones and Herb Schmidt. We also have another man that comes on 2 other days that just started, and his name is Luther Cooper from Trumbull, Connecticut. One thing I want to do at this point is I want to just let each of the men that are here introduce themselves to you, just tell you their name and what church they're with and why they're students here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now.
I'm Herb Schmidt. I'm with the Fall River Church of Christ, Fall River, Massachusetts. And I like taking the SIBI courses because the instructors are very informative, give you great understanding and knowledge of the Bible that really helps you to grow in your faith and in your knowledge of Christ so that you can go out in the world and share that with others, because there was someone that loved us enough to share it with us. So that's why I'm taking these courses.
My name is Glenn Campbell. I worship at Natick, Massachusetts, which is a very small congregation here in New England and very representative as to the size of many of the churches here in New England. I want to thank you, brothers, for your interest in us up here in New England. We definitely need help here in New England. If you could see what is directly in front of me right now, we have an empty chair in this classroom. And it's empty chairs like that we need to fill up here, because somewhere in New England there is a man who will fill that position. And my goal is to find that man and fill as many chairs as I can with qualified brothers here from New England so that we can fill the positions that we have here in New England for preachers. We currently have 15 congregations in New England that I am aware of who are in need of preachers or who have preachers that are retiring. That's a pretty daunting number considering how many people are here in New England and how few churches we have to work with. We need to be focusing on all of New England as a missionary field. We really need help up here in the Northeast. Most of the congregations that are currently here in the northern New England area consist of 20 members or less. With 20 members in a congregation surrounded by communities of millions of people, it is very, very overwhelming to a lot of folks to get out there and to try and evangelize. We need to bring in people who are fully qualified. We need to train local men who are fully qualified to go out there and do this and to lead these congregations and to plant new congregations. We could really, really use your help with one man at a time filling these roles. We thank you for your interest. Thank you.
My name is Anthony Linden. I'm a student here at Sunset. I'm hoping to be the next graduate, and in 2 months' time I will be working with the Clifton Park Church in Clifton Park, New York. I've been living in Massachusetts all my life. I really love God, and I hope to be able to serve Him. I have great vision and hope for the future of the churches in New England. I see through this school here many more men being trained and having a desire to serve God and going out there and planting churches and strengthening churches and just bringing the gospel to all sorts of people. So I hope that you can help us with that. Thank you for considering us.
Again, we just want to thank you for your interest in the school. I hope you understood this video. We do talk a little bit different. Yes, we do say things like clam chowder and park the car by the yard. We had some Harding University students up for their spring break about a week or 2 ago, and one of them was a speech therapist, and she reminded me that a dialect is not a disorder. So just want to leave you with that. The top of the day to you. Bye-bye.